What's up, everyone? My followers or any other random person watching this channel. What I'm gonna be doing today, I am gonna expose how I've dropped the ball in one of my conversations that I thought was good, but after reviewing more my discovery call, it wasn't that good. I missed some parts. I've dropped the ball, and by watching this video, you're gonna learn like some sort of the parts on how to use the NAPQ in your conversations. And most importantly, you're gonna learn the mistakes that you should be avoiding of making to sell better.
Hello.
Hey, do you see me, hear me well?
Yes, I sure can. Can you see me and hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Let's dive in.
How are you?
Well, honestly, just
Yeah,
trying to stay out of the trouble with my wife. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Uh, yeah, well, so I actually waited on the purpose for her to ask how I'm doing, to draw this line out, to disarm her a little bit, give a little bit of a laugh. But the beginning was a little bit weird. So I guess the first thing would be prospect keeps silent. What to what to say when they just stare at you, just to start it more natural because it was a little bit weird. Are you giving hard time to your husband over there, or what's happening?
I don't have one of those.
One lucky man, one more lucky man in this world, right? Maybe, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not. Okay, that's not sure if this was a good joke, so I would definitely flip it the other way around. Like, I mean, what's happening, Shirley? Are the man is everybody blind over there? They don't see such a beauty? That would work even a little bit better. Well, it is what it is. It's fine, Shirley. So, see you booked the call, right? Had the conversation with one of my colleagues.
Hmm.
Tell me. So looking to, hey, crazy idea. Learn how to sell more. Is that about right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, yes.
How long? Kind of trying to get her out of the cost-based thinking into the results-based thinking with this phrase. Gonna make this speed a little bit faster so doesn't take a year to review this call. Follow on the social media with the Jeremy Miner.
Well, actually, I just found him. Yeah, I
Whoa,
just
what
found him.
platform?
YouTube.
Oh, so the basic like 60-second videos?
There's a plethora of videos on there about him.
The longer videos, right?
Yeah, I just
Like
been
did you
scanning through
download
them.
the YouTube last week or what? Because like Jeremy is having like the biggest B2C sales training company in the world, right? There's
Oh,
of
okay.
millions of views in the YouTube. Like, wow, you haven't seen it before?
No, I have not. Because being with the company that I'm with.
I'm trying to see the size and the value of the Jeremy. In the same way, I actually could ask like what exact videos she watched and what resonated with her. That is another thing that I should take into consideration next time.
They have us scanning other folks and whatnot. But
Yeah,
like I said, I saw it this morning and started
yeah,
going through a few of those.
yeah.
I think I've seen him somewhere before though.
Possibly. I mean, like the guy was like in the top 50 in the world in the sales, right? I guess he knows something about the selling, right? So, well, tell me, what were
Yeah,
you hoping by
yeah.
possibly learning by coming to this call?
Um, I want to learn how to ask the right questions at the right time. How Because
Uh
like I was
huh.
explaining to you, I was in one
Yeah.
industry for over 20
Yeah.
years. So
Yeah.
coming to a new industry,
What industry you came in now?
I'm financial services right now.
Okay. Well, what type of the financial services do you do? So, if we're looking at the connecting stage at this part, if I would need to grade it for from 1 to 10, I would like give myself like 6 max because I did make her laugh. We were thinking about the results, but the same way there was like a couple of parts where it was a little bit awkward. So the thing that I should improve during this, based on this call, well, this is what should be implied over there. So it removes a little bit of the resistance from her side. And now I'm like gliding into the situation questions over here.
Well, we educate. We also take a look at our products with our clients, explain products to them. We do.
What products do
Uh,
you sell specifically?
we're doing
Because
investments, life insurance,
okay,
mutual funds,
yeah,
managed portfolios, all of that.
okay, okay.
We
That's
have
the
other
big
products
industry
too.
that would do sell. How do you get in front of your prospects?
Um, most it's by Zoom, but when I have a group, I'll go to where they are.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
does the company sets an appointments for you on your Zoom or you do it yourself?
I do it myself.
Where do you get the leads from? Do you buy them?
Well, we start with our warm market, but I also like to do cold market too. So I'm dabbing into both.
How do you prospect on the cold market?
Um, like for instance, I went to a job fair and there were quite a lot of people coming through, but a lot of people were looking for an instant job where they could get like a $50,000 or
Yeah.
$70,000 a year salary. They
Yeah.
weren't looking for what we had to offer, but at the same time, as I told you yesterday, I think I
You were
concentrate
talking with a
on.
different person yesterday, by the way. It wasn't me,
Oh,
but that's fine. I forgive you. That's fine. We're still friends.
okay, I'm sorry. Hey, by the way, great hair.
I know that was the internal joke. Okay, you got me.
I
Okay,
know, right?
we're even. We're even. Okay, let's go. So you go and yeah, well, she gave me the line, and I've used it. And SDR did a pretty good job by pouring this in, and she remembered this one. So good stuff. Prospect there online with those people. So, well, kind of trying to understand her real situation by asking the questions of what she do and what she's actually doing with her sales job. Like, and how when you're talking with your warm market, cold market, what are you running into right now? Well, maybe what is
Um,
the one or
the
two things that's possibly
closing,
preventing you to close the
closing,
deal?
closing,
What do you
closing.
mean when you say closing?
Trying to get them to, join the business as a prospect, a recruit, because that's what we mainly do. We're recruiting.
Yeah.
And so I can
What?
get in front of individuals or group,
Yeah.
but my closing presentation, I think, was lacking.
So what is missing there? Because I'm not on your presentations. What do you feel is missing there?
Simply how to, well, I guess convince them to seriously look at it and join right then and there on the spot.
So they don't have an urgency at the point of the time to
There
join.
you go. The urgency, yes.
Okay. And what do they say to you? Like, what objections did they throw at you, or why they don't want to join
Well,
today?
the norm, I got to think about it. I don't know if I have time.
Yeah. What do you
I
say
have a
to them
full time
usually?
job.
Yeah. What do you say to them usually?
I usually say, well, you don't have to quit your full time job. You can do this part time. And I'm going to be with you every step of the way and show you.
I have a feeling that I am like getting like too much of the information that's possibly unnecessary. So I'm wasting time here, because what I want to understand is so we're getting into the details that I feel wasn't necessary. So what I would love to know is what is she running into? What's the vehicle that she is using to get deals? Kind of like a process, like a selling process, and what she's using. So and from here I could transition into the numbers and into the problem, because now this is not good.
Step
So
by
you
step.
encourage them.
Yes.
I got you. Where did you get this approach from? Is it the company like have teach you to do this? I guess you hear firefighters. Let's go. Or
Sort of yes and no, because like I said before, I've been in sales, so I'm really used to closing, but it was another industry. What I'm trying to
yeah.
do is how to relate this new industry.
I see she's diluted. She tells me this is not good. So the prospect shouldn't like dilute by saying to you some like a past stuff, their minds are getting cluttered, and this is not benefiting me. Definitely should be more concise here in the situation by understanding so what you're running into, What are you getting how are you getting in front of your prospects? What are you currently using for your conversations? Where did you get that approach from? And then understanding what is her take on it. So I went the other route where she's like explaining to me every single problem that she sees over there.
to this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah, I understand. So you're kind of using your old skill set from like a different industry. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying?
but exactly.
Yeah, could be trouble,
Now,
right? I mean,
yeah.
so well, then let's take a look at into the numbers a little bit, right? So how many?
Well, I guess that was a good thing. She says like, "Yeah, I'm using like a different thing and it's not working." And by me saying, "Well, it could be trouble," I'm seeding the doubt here.
How many appointments do you have now a day, every day?
I have nothing.
Gee.
So it took me like 7 minutes to get to this point, right? So this face here.
Right.
What's happening, brother?
Right. Well, you know,
Next time I need to grab a coffee before my appointment. So the reason, and this is not the first time I actually see it, people like they tend to fantasize, and invent like a lot of things. They start telling the stories to me and themselves actually of why they're not where they want to be because they don't have a volume in the results, right? And this is perfect example. The question is, I would definitely get her to appointment, but I would love to find it out beforehand. What is her current volume to actually assess the real situation and why she want to make a change?
Why does that make you laugh? Like,
I didn't
Shirley?
talk with you yesterday. Let me explain, okay? So back in 2008, I was forced to retire. Okay. And
What, were you working in Goldman Sachs or what?
no. I was in
With the Lehman Brothers or what?
no, I was in sales and marketing in the hotel industry.
Trying like disarming her, gave a laugh, and now she's gonna get into the story. Once again, I should cut her off here from like listening. Not sure why I'm doing it. Maybe I'm too bored out of like from disappointment.
Okay.
Okay. So I was good at that. I made millions for the company. I made thousands for myself as far as, bonuses and whatnot. So it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I was used to being, I was in there for quite a long time. But so in 2008, I was forced to retire. My body sort of broke down a little bit.
Fuck me. Like jawing like third time. Like, how does that prospect perceive it when I'm like this? It's not cool, right? If you listen to this call and you do the same thing, wake freaking up. Do the push-ups before your appointment.
Had some things going on. And being a female, we're emotional creatures. So I got in a dark corner and I stayed there for about 13 years.
Jeez.
So in 2021, that's when it's like I sort of woke up. And I'll tell you my stories because
this is the story that she says to herself, and she told it to me, that doesn't benefit both of us, right? So my situation questions grading on the scale from 1 to 10, the grade is freaking, I'm not sure where I've just realized that I paused the video somewhere. So what we're saying, like the grade here is 2, and I wasted a lot of time. This is the questions I should be asking, and I needed to interject her before she told me the whole story, right? So, yeah, I know when I when I smashed like a grade 2, then I paused the video. Now I resumed it. So
younger than me. She came to me one day in May of 2021, and she said, "Shirley, what are you doing? You're just sitting in a corner. You used to be so vivacious. You used to do this. You used to do that." Because she would come to my job and sit and watch me. Okay. And, I thought about that. And I thought, what, if I could find something to do that would be moral, legal, and ethical, I would get in it. And so
it's definitely not selling the drugs, right?
Right, exactly. So when in October, which was my birthday, October 31st, I was calling her, and at that time she was an LP and she was traveling around the country during COVID.
Yeah.
And so she just got home from Omaha, I believe. And I was like, I haven't heard from you all. You hadn't called me and wished me happy birthday, yada, yada, yada. Because me and my siblings, that's what we do every year. We call one another. And she said it real quietly, like she was really tired. I did call you at 6 a.m. I left a voice message. But I didn't catch on to what, I'm thinking, why is she talking like that? Well, the next day, she was taken away from us through domestic violence. And a friend of mine came to the funeral, someone that I grew up with, went to high school with and all that. And she asked me, are you moving back to Montgomery? And I said, well, I need to find something to do. And she introduced me to Primerica.
Okay.
And listening at the first presentation, I was hooked. I was like, yeah, this is
So
all of
that's
those
the story
things.
of how you get there, right? And now
Right.
we're looking at the point of where you're right now. So you're there for what, like 3 or 4 years already?
Yeah, because I've been sitting there watching and listening and learning, trying to soak up all this stuff because it's like a brand new thing for me. I walk through this new
Well,
door.
surely some people is already making a million in 4 years, right? And
I
then
know.
using them in our
I
advanced
know.
sales training programs. So getting back to the numbers, how many appointments do you now? If you don't have a daily appointments, how many do you have a week?
Maybe 2.
Yeah. Well, and here's the problem. So I'm already going into the numbers without actually assessing like her real situation and what she thinks she needs to improve. So that's the huge problem, and that's where I've dropped the ball in this conversation. I'm going into the numbers without understanding the problem. That is my problem.
So it's more fair to say one. What do you
But I'm
do?
gonna
Like,
get on it.
if I can be ask you an honest question, if you're just having one appointment that would should take no longer than an hour, you do it. What are you doing with the rest of your time?
trying to find creative ways to, because I'm studying also to advance in the securities industry. I've taken 2 exams. I have like SIE
Again, she's like fuck justifying why she is not doing the work that should be done.
and the 6. So I'm studying for the 63 and the 65.
Right.
I hadn't really concentrated on getting prospects, but now is the time.
Well, what shifted? What's behind it?
I just feel like I've gained my confidence back for once. For one, I lost a lot of confidence in myself. So
How much money have you made so far with this business this year?
I know this may sound crazy, but that wasn't so important to me.
That's not crazy, but what's the numbers?
Maybe 1,000, 2,000.
Can I ask something without offending you?
Sure.
How do you make a living?
Well, I'm on disability, so I get a check every month.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and then I've got like 10 men in my life. They help pay my bills. I'm just joking.
Every joke has just a part of the joke. You know it, Shirley. So, well, then.
The one thing that I've noticed here, like I keep like disarming her, right? We're laughing here and there, but like it's not helping in the long run. Well, it's good to have like the conversations like this, but at some sort of the point, she will need to sink in a little bit in the pain that she's having. We're gonna see later.
If that's the case, aside from your learning, how much hours are you actually putting in realistically every day to prospect? Because that's what matters. Because if you're not doing the inputs, no training is going to make you great. So what do you do? How many hours do you put in daily to prospect?
I'm just asking some freaking random questions. That is unnecessary because what stage I am, Rivis? What stage are you in, brother? What are you trying to do right here? Not good. I should be either asking a problem questions or which, and I wouldn't need to move into the solution without understanding the numbers. I guess I wanted the. Let's see what I'm gonna do.
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3. So it sounds like more an hour. What's holding you back from like doing more, like just talking with more people?
I thought about that, and one thing came to mind is the materials, the things to show people. Like if you're selling something or you're trying to introduce somebody to something, you need something in hand to give to them. So I don't have those things.
I'm closing every month like 6-figure deal. It's like I'm helping the custom company earn like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't show them anything. I show them myself.
Oh. But how long have you been in the business?
Since last year.
Last year. Are you serious? Wow.
The question is, it's not about the material, Shirley. The question is, what is preventing you actually from like prospecting 4 hours a day or maybe 8 hours a day so you can have more people meeting with you so you can help them? Materials is not the hard thing, right? You can get them. But the question is, what's between you and actually doing the work? How important is it to you actually?
Approaching people.
Asking the amateur like mistakes. Asking 2 questions. So what's between you and not doing the work? And then another question. Never ask 2 questions, Rivis.
And having that conversation, I'm lost. What do I start talking about? I mean, the company itself or my products or, after I introduce myself, I mean.
Well, now we're getting the problem. It took a little bit longer. She is lost.
That's just been.
So it's more like you don't know what to say.
Right.
And that's fair. Mm-hmm. So the question is, aside before.
Oh, so you don't know what to say in the conversations. How does that make you feel when you're out there talking with the prospects without knowing what to say? probe into the problem to get an emotion.
Before you found the Jeremy online, were you out there looking for ways on how you can find the ways on how to better speak with the people, what to say them, how to say them?
Yes.
What were you looking at?
What do you mean when you say what am I looking at?
What were you looking at? So I'm asking, what were you looking for ways on how you can solve this?
Anywhere that I spend my money, I go and buy something, I'm talking to that person that I'm connecting with. And I start by saying something like, do you like your job? You know.
No, that's what you do. My question is, if the thing that prevents you from working more is the fact that you don't know how to do the job better, right? Good. So the people respond to you. My question is, how did you try to improve your process of what do you say to the people and how you say to them so they get engaged and they have that urgency to move forward with you?
I've used a headliner about.
It's getting worse and worse. So I missed the numbers gap. That is a big thing here. Wouldn't do it never. So I kind of haven't assessed the amount of the money that she could be possibly making if she would have the right skill set. That's the big thing that is missing here. Not gonna make the same mistake again.
About the specific things. Were you going through the trainings? I don't know. Well, you know when you like, and you've been in some like troubles before, right?
Mm-hmm.
When something hurts in your body, what do?
And you go to a medical doctor or a place that can help you.
So you go to the specialists that have like studied it for the years,
right?
That knows the possibly quicker answer rather than you, like, you know, going through the like cutting off some piece of your body and trying to figure out like what's happening, right? So if you have noticed that you have a problem with the way you communicate with the people, my question is, were you out there looking for ways on how to cure this?
Where am I out there?
Where are you looking for a way?
Where do I look?
No. The question is, if you've done the looking, have you done the searching before on how to fix this? Let me rephrase my question. I see you're confused.
Please.
A year ago, you still wasn't doing the sales, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What have you done in the past year in terms of advanced sales training so you know how to close deals?
I've been recording myself.
And who?
Bad question. So I should ask her, like, I should like use the things that I already heard from her rather than using like a broad statements like becoming better with the selling, right? I should say, so what have you done realistically so you don't get lost in your conversations? And then based on what she did, how helpful was that? And if it wasn't, why she haven't, what was behind her not looking for a better ways? That is the route that I should go.
Who's reviewing your calls?
My upline.
Okay, that's something. Anything aside of that?
Because there are like 3 different
Charlie,
types.
Anything aside of that?
Besides recording myself? Studying, looking online at different presentations, listening to other people and their tones and pitches.
Good. So we're doing something. The major question now, and I do promise I'm not going to ask Jeremy to record the video and post it on the YouTube on what you're going to say to me now. How helpful was this thing that you've done in the past year on a scale from 1 to 10 to narrow your skills gap so you can start closing as much deals as you want, realistically?
It's been, let's see, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say wow, that's a good one. Maybe 8. It's pretty high. It's just me.
How is it 8 if you're barely making, you've made the grand? I mean, if you would start making the money that other people is making that is in our training, tens of thousands of dollars a month, how would you rate then that result?
Oh, maybe a 1. See, I know I haven't been doing anything. I haven't really talked to a lot of people.
Yeah, what's the reason why you're not talking to the people? We can only get assisted.
I think I'm overthinking it maybe, or over processing what I think people can afford, because I live in a rural area. I know a lot of people out here, but I don't know. I think I'm over processing that they can't afford it or whatever. I don't know. I've tried.
She's like cluttered, trying to find the escape, right? Another reason. Well, just putting the blame on something else. It's not my fault. It's an area.
If you think it like this, most probably they can't, right, Shirley?
Yeah.
So, and you are like in the digital age. Luckily, you are in the digital age. It doesn't matter where the people are. You can like speak with the people from the Orange County, right, or any other like a state of the place where they have a lot of money. It's just because do you know how to do it or not? So the question is,
bad statement, right? I should turn it into the questions. I would say, so, well, I mean, how you mean like a rural area? Are you just doing the in-person meetings with them? No, I just do them online. So then, how the fact that you're in a rural area impacts like the fact that you could possibly go outside like and sell to the whole world? Well, it's not. Then so it's not about the area, right? And then like getting back the responsibility on her.
What shifted for you? Why you want to suddenly change it? Because if you don't, well, I'm not going to pester you here with my questions, right? You just can
That's
continue
okay.
relying on the stuff that you've been doing right now. Why is it important for you to get your skills up here so you can start making money from it?
Because I feel like it's time. It's time for me to step forward and step out on faith and go ahead and do what I need to do.
Well,
And stop a
because
lot of
what
You feel like it's a time. So what causes you to have this feeling? I feel that gives no background to where's this feeling coming from. Another probing question should be all right here.
if you're not going to do it, what then?
I'm going to do it. I have to.
Well, have you thought that for 4 years it's going to take you 4 years to come and you will be at the level of the income that you have right now? Did you plan it? Most probably not.
No,
Right?
no, right. Mm-mm.
Just being hurrying. Like, let her answer the questions, brother. Where do you rush?
What if like the thing's going to stay the same for? Have you ever like considered what is going to happen if
Oh, yeah. I can't
another
afford it. I
12
cannot,
months is going to stay the same?
I cannot afford that.
Oh, what does that mean? You
It's,
can't
it's
afford
just
that.
time for me to,
You're lagging a little bit.
I can't
Uh,
afford to continue to, I can't, I just can't afford to stay in the same position that I'm in right now. Oh, can
yeah,
you hear me?
yeah, I do. What is that going to mean to you if you're going to stay at the same position without no income from this? Do you have any other income? Like, I mean,
Yes, I
aside
do.
from the government paying you,
No, I do not.
yeah. What's going to
I've
be
got
the
a lot of
ramification?
brothers. I've got a lot of brothers. They've been doing things for me, and they shouldn't. It's just spoiling me, making me lazy.
So, well, if you feel that now is the time to do anything about it, well, I have like at least a couple of training programs that could help you. The better
So I'm just gonna wrap up this call here because I wanted to review the discovery. So and let's summarize what are we seeing here, what's happening. So problem awareness questions, grading myself towards more like a freaking two, like one. Nothing's done here. Solution awareness questions. It spoke with her about the what was the past vehicles that she was using. Kind of gives me like a two grade, but I painted no future picture. I have no gap, therefore I can't paint the picture of the revenue that she could be possibly making if she would have the right skill set, or not even the revenue, right? Just by having a skill set, what difference that would make for her. And in the consequence question, right, she didn't feel the pain. She didn't relive her pain. Grade 2, 1 to, well, this conversation, the overall rating is poor. So I wrote down the overall here. So I rate it like super poorly. I should start. I should avoid myself from skipping the parts because I've skipped a lot of parts. Haven't done the problem stage. No numbers gap. Don't know how much money she could be potentially, how much money she's losing right now because of the lack of the skill set. Haven't talked about the future of the solution if she gets the training right. Uh, Ideal criteria was missing. She didn't tell me what sort of the training she would want to have. It's just like shitty conversation, honestly. So I need to stop jawing in the middle of the conversations, and I need to close the window so it doesn't distract me while I'm on the call with the client. And it should keep doing the disarming statements here. That is the picture. That is the summary of this call. Well, I could feel a little bit embarrassed, but I'm more proud that I recorded this video and I'm sharing my problems and the things that I'm running into. But most importantly, I did it for myself because there was a while when I actually watched any of my calls. So it's gonna help me. And if you are actually gonna watch the video up to this point, well, and if you're gonna use the magical word abracadabra in the comments, I'm gonna contact you, and possibly I can review your call, right? And yeah, so this is how you can learn from your game tape. Hopefully, you're gonna be smart. You're not gonna learn just from your mistakes, but you're gonna be even smarter, and you're gonna learn from my mistakes, so you don't make the same ones. This is it for today. Subscribe for the channel, smash the like button, write the comment. Maybe there was something that you have seen that I was missed and we can discuss on it. And that's it. Bye bye.